Hello guys, Bahru here, and today we're going to be talking about the most infamous character in Guilty Gear. As most of you know by now, his name is Slayer, and ever since release he's been probably the most annoying and scariest character to deal with. Because of the damage input he puts in, it's terrifying to go up against him. It's pretty hard because any mistake you make in the match against a Slayer, it's pretty much game over, especially if they know what they're doing. So I'm going to be showing you the many moves that he does that a lot of players really just can't stand or deal with. One of the most infamous moves from him is the ground slamming that he does with 2 heavy slash. This move is really annoying because if you're trying to put pressure against Slayer and he catches any moves you do, he could put you on the ground with just 2 heavy slash. Worst part is he could quickly do this attack and put pressure on you, and he could do a lot of moves. He could suck your blood pretty much like this. And that gives you more power, by the way. And so look at that. See, it does that. So you could just keep putting pressure by just pressing slash constantly, frame trapping them by pressing slash, and most of the time you'll be plus, which doesn't really give the chance the opponent to breathe. Because if you're plus most of the time and you're frame trapping them, it's just very hard, especially if you catch them with the 2 heavy slash. There's a lot of moves that he does that's very just good. Like, that's all I can tell, like, talk about Slayer. Slayer is just a good character overall. He doesn't have a downside, which is what's scary about the character. His 2K, which goes for the feet most of the time, is even long. Look, I'm standing here. Let me just go back a little bit. Well, that's a little too far. But this 2K reaches a far distance, and it's just a good poking option. And a lot of the times, for example, what Slayers would do would go for 2K 2D slash and then teleport behind them and then continue putting on pressure against them. And most of the time, a lot of players can't catch that because it's like a 50-50. You can't really do much about that because you got to predict of where he teleports. Because look, he could also do this. If I just dash, he could teleport. If I dash back, I could teleport again. So if I do 2K 2D slash teleport, I could trick him, stomp the ground, and punch him. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I do this move all the time when I play Slayer. I just go for 2K 2D slash teleport. So yeah, it's annoying to deal with. If there's a way for me to explain it in simple terms of how good Slayer is, let's say, for example, there's someone that's new to fighting games completely, right? And they want to jump on the game and just have fun immediately. They don't want to take the time to learn the character. Slayer is that character where they could just hop on the game and have the best time of their life. So if I'm telling you right now that, oh, Slayer, you need a lot of time to learn him. No, you don't. You just need to go probably play a couple games, just learn his basic moves, and I'm telling you, you'd probably have a really good time playing the game, but not for the other players, not for the other opponents. So that's how annoying and that's how great Slayer is. And when I say annoying, I don't really mean it in a bad way, but I mean it in a way where he's just really just tough to go up against. So you really need to know how to block against him and time your moves against him. So from any casual player's point of view, it's just going to be a really rough time. Even for a lot of players that play this game competitively, Slayer is not fun to go up against still. One move I like to do in the corner with Slayer, and for example, I'm going to show you guys. I want you guys to look at this bot's health, right? So if I do 2 heavy slash, pile bunker, and then do my ult, look at his health. This is how crazy his damage input. This is what makes Slayer scary. Look at all his health is pretty much gone just from those 2 moves I just did. It was just 3 moves and I did all of that damage. A lot of the characters that play this game, you have to do more than 3 moves to get someone's health that low. To be fair, I did use a super, but even then, the fact that it's that simple to do that with a character makes it very scary to deal with. And I'm going to be showing you examples in the matches I'll be playing later. One move I like to do, so it's just 2K 2D slash teleport slash hit and then pile bunker. It's scary. It's just scary. I can catch anyone no matter what move and pile bunker them and then just continue putting pressure constantly over and over. His 2P is also really good. It's very quick, and then I could literally just pile bunker after that. and do different moves on that. It's scary. Basically going against him, if he's up close like this, can be a 50-50 because of his teleports. And the moves his quick moves that he can just do to you, it's rough. You really don't know what to do. It's just a lot of damage and a lot of blocking, and you gotta time it correctly, because the only way you could counter Slayer is if you put the pressure back on him. Because any moment you make one simple mistake, all I have to do is this. It doesn't have to be this specific move that he does. This is his level 2 super. But if I just gain meter and just take my time and be patient with anything, I could just do that and pretty much just end the game like that. Another thing Slayers like to do is if they see you, this happens to zoners most of the time, by the way. So I play Axel usually, and I'm a zoner character, and I throw my weapon far distance just in case anyone's new watching doesn't know what a zoner is. They just basically from far distance attack you from far distance. And a lot of the time Slayers would wait for you just to see that motion you're doing and then just do this. Oops, sorry. This move. And this does so much damage too. It's very, very terrifying. They just do that move, that first super, which if you go to command list, go down here, you get to see both the supers. This is the one I use to suck their blood basically and take a lot of their health. And this is the super Mappa Hunch super, which is basically what I just showed right now. So they just do that constantly if they're zoning, or it doesn't even have to be a zoner. It could just be any character. If they just see them like making a move or making any mistake and they catch them on that mistake, they'll just do this pretty much. And it will do a lot of damage. It's a good pressure tool too. Slayer is very, very scary to go up against because of all the stuff that he has, all this pressure and power he has, the damage input. I'm not saying it's impossible to go against Slayer. I'm just saying Slayer is that character where he's the strongest in this game because of many reasons. He doesn't have a weakness. And the only way you can beat a Slayer pretty much is just if you outsmart him. And that's like the only way you can really like beat him or put pressure on him. It's literally finding a character that can put so much pressure on him that he doesn't have the chance to even defend himself. And if he can block, all he has to do is wait for you to make one little mistake, and that game can be changed up because of the moveset he has. So I'm going to be showing you guys a few matches of what he can do and why he's a pretty scary character. Man, this is something, bro. This is something.